Hey everybody, it's Robert. Hey, we're here at Red Rocks Amphitheater for 2 nights with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers on 40th anniversary tour. We had a pretty good load in today, a little slow at times, but not too bad overall. Had to make a few adjustments in the PA system today in terms of alignments, things like that, because a little bit of our geometry, our stage geometry changed a little bit today, so we had to do some realigning of some of that stuff. You know, Red Rocks is such a cool gig, and not for nothing, Anya just kills it here, man. I mean, if there was ever a PA that was perfectly suited for this gig, this is it. I mean, I'm just amazed every time we come in here with it now how easily we do this place compared to the past 30 years of coming here and doing this place. So really excited about the shows tonight and tomorrow night. If we can avoid the weather, we're going to be in pretty good shape. We had a little bit of rain today. Slowed us down for a little while. There's forecast for rain, I believe, tonight, so and maybe even tomorrow night. We're just really kind of got our fingers crossed and see if we can get out of here without the rain. All right, so I'm going to pack it in. Over the course of the 2 days here, I'll get a venue segment done for you guys. Had a great Hardin segment this morning, so stay in touch. Hopefully it'll be an event-free evening tonight, and we will have a blast here, because let me tell you, it's going to be packed here. I mean, we have sold every possible seat in this place over 2 nights here, so looking forward to it. All right, we'll check back with you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Take what you can, or you can carry. Take what you can and leave the past behind. Take what you can, or you can carry. Take what you can and leave the past behind.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Red Rocks Harden the Fuck Up session. This is it. This is a real deal here. This is Mecca for road crew workout. As you can see, there are a lot of people working out on the hill today. There's a great set of steps here. It's probably 150, maybe 200 steps to the top. And you're sitting at about, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000 feet of altitude here. So this is going to get real quick here. So the goal this morning is to do weighted laps and combination of get-ups and get-downs on the bigger steps. So if you take a look at the steps on my flyby here, we're going to go 60-pound sandbag and go all the way up and then across to the opposite corner. Drop the sandbag and then do get-downs all the way down the hill. Come back to the corner where you start, 25 push-ups, maybe 30, 40 seconds of recovery. Then do get-ups going back up the hill on this, these bigger sections here where you got to kind of do it's almost like you're getting out of a swimming pool, right? So you do a get-up all the way up the hill, go across, again, pick up the sandbag, and come back down the hill to the opposite corner again, 25 push-ups, rinse, lather, repeat. You get the idea, right? So, again, 60-minute AMRAP. I don't know how many laps I'm going to get in. I know this is going to crush me by about the 4th or 5th lap here of sandbag up. So it gets very real, very quick. So if I get 8 laps in today, I'll be thrilled with that. All right, so that's the report from Harden the Fuck Up. I am going to get going here, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
You and I have burned every bridge, and now we gotta save our souls again. Take what you can, or you can carry. Take what you can and leave the past behind.
All right, we're at second day at Red Rocks here, and we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We got a little bit of time, so I'm going to do a little demonstration for you here on how Anya works, right? Things that we can do with Anya here. So what we're going to do here at Red Rocks, because we got just such a good opportunity to do it, is we're going to take and we're going to space out, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones throughout the entire vertical coverage of the venue. And then we're going to go to basically a zero coverage on the PA, meaning I'm only going to be covering for the first 25 feet of the venue. As you'll see here, we're going to have a live smart trace of all of these microphones, and then we're going to put in the building geometry into the PA system and let it make its calculation and make its polar adjustment for the venue, and you'll see that all come to life right here in the smart traces. All right, so let's get going here. I'll show you the mic placements here. 1 second. All right, our first mic position is about 36.29 milliseconds from the PA. That represents about 25 feet plus another 10 milliseconds of processing delay. Our next trace, the green trace in Smart, is going to be 71.92 milliseconds from the PA. As you can see, we're just working in a straight line back from the PA system. Next trace is orange, 144.3 milliseconds from the PA system. And then finally our yellow trace, which is nearly all the way to the back of the venue, 226.44 milliseconds from the PA system. Okay, so this first screen you see here is from the EAW resolution software. And this is the software we use to establish the coverage area that the Anya PA system is going to provide for a given building geometry. And at Red Rocks, really we're primarily concerned with vertical coverage here, meaning kind of front to back, bottom to top coverage. And what you see here is the actual slope of the seating in the venue that Vic has entered into the software, just using simple surveying tools in the morning. And this little vertical section you see here actually represents a side view of the PA system as it exists in that geometry. Correct with trim height, etc. The whole thing is in play here in context. Now, once we enter some geometry into the software, these horizontal working blue lines indicate the current coverage delivered by the PA system. And as you can see here, and really for the purposes of this demonstration today, there is literally no coverage angle being created by the software right now. Everything is going straight forward. It would kind of match what your eyes would predict if you were actually looking at the PA system, which you can see a picture of it here on the side. And remember, with Anya, this is all being done with DSP. There is no mechanical articulation of the boxes or the components in any way, which, again, you can kind of see in the live side view on the left-hand side of the screen here of the PA system. It all hangs in a perfectly straight line, which also, very importantly, keeps all the spacing between all the different components identical, and therefore the most consistently manipulatable by the DSP. There's no varied spacing of the components as a result of angling the cabinets. So for today's demonstration, to begin, we're going to take an FFT measurement with all of the coverage directed down, as you'll see here. We're going to go down to about the first 30 feet of the seating. And you can see that that kind of being executed here by the resolution software. And next, I'm going to turn on some pink noise, and I want to kind of now outline what you're seeing in Smart, and you'll get some sense of what I'm going to try to attempt to demonstrate here today. As I showed you earlier, we have 4 microphones spaced out up the hill that are going to allow us to evaluate the coverage capabilities of the PA system as it changes in real time. And as you can see here, we see the frequency responses and relative volumes of the PA system at each one of these microphone locations in the venue. And it's to be expected with the entire PA system being used to cover the first 30 feet of the venue. Obviously, the loudest part of the venue is seen by the microphone that is closest to the PA system. And of course, the quietest part of the venue is the microphone that is farthest from the PA system. And you can kind of also see this emphasized in the metering for each one of those microphones if you look closely. The meter for the brown trace, which is the closest to the PA, obviously shows the most level, and the farthest ones show the least level. So we want to address that, but we also want to ensure, maybe more importantly, that the farthest seats of the venue have as close to the same frequency response or tonality as the seats nearest the PA system, right? Of course, consistent frequency response being the most important final outcome here, compared even to consistent volume. So, I guess at this point we'll just engage the coverage math and send it to the PA system. And as you can see here, it all starts to kind of fall right into place. You can see all the curves start to fall right on top of one another. And this is the remanipulation of energy going up the hill now. And it's kind of indicating that we have indeed achieved really consistent coverage front to back at the venue. Now, you guys that are looking closely here and you know this kind of work, you may also be noticing some high frequency roll-off for the yellow and the red curves, which are the ones farthest up the hill. Well, it's important to keep it in context here now, and it's important to keep in mind we are midday in an extremely hot and, just as importantly, extremely dry atmosphere, meaning lacking humidity, and has all that in play while we're assessing these measurements. So some of that frequency content, is literally lost to the environmental conditions. But honestly, I've been here so many times, I really don't have many concerns about this as it sits right now, because we're expecting much cooler weather with considerably more humidity around showtime and later. And I would be willing to bet some good money that all of that top end information will come up and even out right before showtime. So, we may go ahead and prepare some spatial EQ to address it, and then engage it if we feel it's necessary, but we won't engage it until we're sure we need it around showtime. All right? So really cool stuff there. That's about it for the EAW demonstration. We've kind of compressed this down into a little demo here, and I hope you're impressed by this, because I tell you, as I reminisce about all the shows I've done here over 30 plus years of coming here, I've done just so many shows here, and all the attempts at different PA configurations I've tried in order to properly cover this venue. It is just so incredible to have this kind of power and capability at your fingertips. And I hope you all can appreciate how empowering it is to have this at your disposal. So I'll give a big shout out, a big thanks to the engineering teams at EAW for developing this amazing technology. So I'm looking forward to using it tonight. I bet we're going to have a really, really good couple of shows here.
I'm really sorry, but they're telling me from the side of the stage here, the management says there's some lightning rolling in, and I know, and we're gonna have to go off for about 10 minutes or something. Isn't that right? Is it? How long do we have to go off for? Should they eat? How long? All right, we'll be back real quick. We hate this as much as you. We'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Unfortunately, with our Denver weather here, we have to take a brief delay. A very brief delay for safety reasons, all right? Be advised, there are some strikes of lightning in the area. We suggest that you please seek some shelter.
Oh, yes. Better safe than sorry. I have to apologize for the inebriation of the band, but we don't usually get a break like that. And we've quite enjoyed it. We're going to give you a song we don't normally do since you've had to sit through that one. backstop for her. I just said, hey, nice to meet you. Are you going my way? Yeah, that's when it happened. The world caught fire that day, and she went down, swinging. Yeah, she went down, swinging. She was over 21, in trouble with the law. It didn't faze her none. She called our mother-in-law.